Okay, good afternoon, friends. We'll start with the discussing the next test on aggregate. So, next test name is impact test, and this is also one strength test. Okay, this is also one type of strength test. Here, impact test means you are applying the load suddenly. You are applying the load suddenly. In aggregate crushing value test, you are applying the load on aggregate in a gradually increasing manner. Slowly you are applying the load up to 40 tons you are applying. But in this case, what is this impact test? You are applying the load suddenly, okay, and under the impact, what is the behavior of aggregate, and you are you are measuring the fine powder quantity, how much it is formed. Okay, so in the impact test, the toughness you are measuring, it is the property of material to resist the impact under the action of this one impact. This one, you are measuring the toughness of the aggregate. So why this test is important? Where you see the impact loading, okay, on the roads, on natural four-wheeler, two-wheeler, you don't come across impact load. But when you see the airport road, whenever aircraft is landing, no, that time, whenever aircraft is landing, that time you are going to come across this impact load. So under this impact, this aggregate should not break into pieces. So later what will happen if aggregate is failing? So suddenly all the payment is going to get damaged. So to measure that impact strength, so we are conducting this strength. So due to traffic loads, aggregates are subjected to impact, and there is a possibility of aggregate breaking into small pieces. Always it is there. So whatever the stones you are using, it should be tough enough to resist the fracture. It should be resist the fracture under the impact load. Under the impact load. Okay. So how you are going to conduct? Okay. So we'll see. There is a test designed for this one to evaluate the toughness of the stones. Okay, so that means the resistance of the stones to fracture under the repeated impacts, means that you are not applying slowly for once. Okay, you are applying the loads suddenly, or it is creating impact in a multiple times. Okay, so this is called as impact test for aggregates. The aggregate impact value indicates the relative measure of the aggregates to a sudden shock or an impact. Okay, so same thing, aggregate crushing value, it shows the resistance of aggregates for crushing force. Here in impact test, it is showing resistance of the aggregates under impact to what? To the fracture. Okay. So it is a difference from compression load and impact load. Here compression load is slowly applied, gradually increased. In impact load, the load is applied suddenly. Okay. So now the allowable value. So generally we have 30%. So it should be more than 30 or less than 30. You can you can easily predict comparing with the previous experiments. So for ACV, for LAA, Los Angeles aberration value, both cases we have to have lesser values. So same thing applicable to here also. So impact value should be less than this 30%. Should be less than this 30%. So that is why it is written maximum allowable, means it should not cross. The maximum value is 30%. Above this, the aggregates are not acceptable as a wearing course in a road pavement. That's all. Okay. So now you can see the experimental setup. This is a typical aggregate impact testing apparatus. So again, we have the measuring cone, tamping rod, cup, and here it is a plunger. Same arrangement as it was there in ACV. Only thing is load is applied suddenly. Okay. So you are taking the aggregate. Can you remember this one? Passing through 12.5, retaining 10. The same thing is also applicable here. The sieves are 12.5 and 10 mm. Here passing 12.5, retained on 10. These type of aggregates are selected selected for this test, and it is filled in this jar. It is filled in this jar and filled in three layers. Okay, and as usual each layer is given 25 blows and the topmost layer is made surface level. After that you should take the weight of the aggregate. Generally it is W1. So W1 is the aggregate weight before testing, which is there in this measuring cylinder. After that what you are going to do, those aggregates will be poured in this cone, later on. So this impact testing machine will contain a plunger, or you can say hammer. This is called as hammer. So it has got a lever arrangement or clamp arrangement. If you release this clamp by this handle, this hammer is going to come and hit here. So suddenly it will fall here. So what type of load? Sudden falling. It is called as impact load. So how we are going to do? So there is a hammer is raised to this height. What is this height? This height H generally, can you remember this value for next? 38 centimeter, standard one. Okay, so that is why it is written in this one, 38 centimeter height it is raised and clamp is released, so that this hammer will fall on this cone arrangement and impact is created on the aggregate. How many blows it will you should give such that again it is going to raised and released, so 15 times you should do. So 15 impact loads you should give it to this aggregate sample. Okay, 15 times. So for 2 to 3 seconds, one blow. 2 to 3 seconds, one blow you should give. Okay, so after that what you are going to do? After 15 such blows, you are taking this sample, you are taking one sieve. Can you remember what is that sieve? Sieve size, again it is 2.36 sieve. 2.36 sieve. You are pouring this on this sieve, and whatever portion is passing through this, we call it as fine powder. Okay, so fine powder or broken material which is passing through this 2.36 mm sieve, we call it as W2. What is that W2? W2 is the fractured or fine powder or broken material, which is done broken material which is obtained after 15 such blows from the impact hammer. Okay, so as usual W2, that is weight of material passing through 2.36, to the W1, that is weight of aggregate before testing, into 100. It is called as aggregate impact value, AIV, aggregate impact value. Okay, so this value limit is 30%. It should not be more than 30%. Is it clear? Impact value. Okay, now in this one it's called as aggregate impact value. Maximum limit is 30%. So is it clear this experiment? Okay, 3 tests. One is ACV, LAAV, and last one is AIV. 3 tests we have completed. Okay, all these 3 are strength test. So what is this sieve size? After coming out from this equipment, you are going to pass through this one. This is 2.36 mm sieve. Okay, so passing is W2. So same thing, the theory portion is explained here. Procedure. So the dry aggregate sample passing 12.5 retained on 10 mm is taken, is filled in the cylindrical measure in 3 layers, each layer 25 blows, and that weight is W1. This aggregate is then transferred to cup, or we can say cone, which is there in the impact machine. Okay, so that hammer is raised to 38 centimeter. How many blows they are going to give? 15 such blows. Okay, so it is made to freely on the specimen. Specimen means what? Aggregate specimen, no? aggregate specimen. So 15 blows, and later what you are going to do? You are going to take out that sample. Such type of 15 blows or impacts from the hammer will given to the specimen. Okay. So what is written here? The crushed aggregate is then sieved through 2.36 mm sieve, and whatever passing material is called as W2. Passing material is W2. So aggregate impact value is W2 by W1 into 100. Simple, no? W2 W1 into 100. Okay. So we have written in this form. Okay. Is it clear? AIV? I hope it is clear, very clear. Okay. Now, in this context, we are going to see shape test. So, the shape test experiment name is flakiness index and elongation index. What is this? Flakiness index, elongation index. Okay. Now, the shape of aggregate particle is determined by the percentage of flaky, percentage of elongated materials present in the sample. Now first understand what is flaky and what is elongated. Can you see these diagrams? I have purposely put these diagrams here. Flaky material or flat material. What is happening? Compared to the other dimension, if you take a cube, compared to the other dimensions, the thickness is small. I am just drawn a cube. So if thickness is small compared to other dimensions, maybe L, maybe W, here thickness or height is very small, or thickness is very small compared to L and W, then we call it as flat particles, or we call it as flaky particles. Now you understand. Flaky means very thin. Can you see this one in diagram? Compared to other dimensions, these particles have less thickness. How we are going to see the less thickness? So T should be less than 0.6 times. 0.6 times its L, or 0.6 times its W, whichever is smaller. So if it is less, if thickness is less than this or less than this, then those materials are called as, flaky materials. If thickness is less than 0.6 times L or 0.6 times W. For these, you generally don't come across L and W. For easy understanding, I have drawn this diagram. Okay, so in that way only you should understand. Other two dimensions are normal, but compared to cross section or thickness, the thickness is very small, such that it is less than 0.6 times other two dimensions, you should say in that way. Then those are called as flaky. Flaky materials are weak under loads. You understand this one. Flaky or elongated are not good for construction. You understand this point? So that is why these two are not used in construction work. What is happening? If they are using it there, they may break easily. Flaky as well as elongated. Now come to this elongated portion. What is there happening? If any one dimension, maybe length, is very long compared to other two dimension, how we can write? L should be greater than 1.8 times H or 1.8 times W. You understand this one? W. H or W. Here H means height or thickness. Okay. So if length, any one longer dimension is more than 1.8 times other two dimensions. If any one dimension is more than 1.2 times than the other dimension, then it is called as elongated particles or lengthy materials. You understand these 2 points? What are flaky? What are elongated? Flaky means very thin. Thickness is very less. Thickness is less than 0.6 times other two dimensions. Elongated materials means long materials, but thickness, length is 1.8 times more than other two dimensions. So these two are should not be used. So there is a maximum limit for flaky and elongated. Now you understand this one. We go to the next one. Okay. So now what is written here? Aggregates which are flaky, which are elongated are not good for pavement works. Yes, they will break easily. They reduce the workability, means mixing, placing is not going to be easy. Stability is also going to be reduced. They do not provide good interlocking. They are not good for interlocking purpose, and they are difficult to compact. They are difficult to compact, and they will break easily. They will break easily under heavy loads. They will break easily under heavy loads. Okay. Now, what is this? Again, I have put the diagram. How I should write? Flaky materials means thin material. We have discussed now, where thickness is very less than other two dimensions. Yes. Similarly, elongated materials are long or lengthy materials. Long or lengthy materials, their length is very high than other two dimensions. How I should write? T is less than 0.6 times L or W. L or W. Here L is greater than 1.8 times H or W. H or W. Height or width, length, width, thickness, so length. So H or T both are same. Okay. So what I have written here? Flakiness index. Flakiness index is nothing but percentage of particle whose least dimension is less than 0.6 times their mean dimension. Mean dimensions means other these things are there, no? Mean dimension. Okay. So that is what I have written here. So flakiness index means how you are going to calculate. If 1000 gram of aggregate, I am just simply explaining, 1000 grams of aggregate you are taking. Now you are conducting one test, flakiness test. In that you got 400 materials. Let us say 250 materials or 250 grams. In 1000-gram aggregate sample, you get 250 materials are flaky. 250 materials are flaky. Then flakiness index is as usual 250 by 1000 into 100. 250 by 1000 into 100. 250 are flaky material in 1000-gram sample. So that is why flakiness index is 250 by 1000 into 100. Now, how you have taken out this 250 sample? How you have taken 250? So those 250 materials are 0.6 times less. Their each aggregate, if you take them, no, their thickness, these 250 materials, in these 250 materials, all the aggregates have thickness less than their 0.6 times average dimension. Okay. So we will see that one in the next video. We will see how it is done. Okay. So this is you call it as a thickness gauge. To conduct the flakiness material, we go for this thickness gauge. Okay. So here slots are written, no, 63 to 50, 50 to 40. Okay, it is written or not? 63 to 50, 50 to 40, 45 to 31. So like that sizes have written. Okay. And you should remember, this is the thickness of this slot. Slot is nothing but opening. Width of opening we call it as its opening passage. Okay, opening passage. So for other things also it is written there. We will see in the next video.